Hey, it's Mike DelVisco with you. You know, my friends at Lowrance now have had this Ghost trolling motor for the past year, and I can tell you that it is probably the best trolling motor that I've ever had on any boat that I've ever had, and there's a few reasons why. And I'm going to start here at the top, and I'm going to work my way down, show you some of the features of the Ghost trolling motor. The very first thing that makes this trolling motor unique is the fact that it's brushless. It's a brushless design, so you basically get a bunch of different features with that brushless motor that you don't get with any other traditional motor. And the very first thing is the amount of power this trolling motor has. It operates on both 24 and 36 volt, and on 24 volts you get 97 pounds of thrust. That's amazing. At 36 volt you get up to 120 pounds of thrust. So if you think about that in really windy situations or heavy grass or heavy vegetation, things like that, this trolling motor is going to perform great whether you've got it on a smaller boat with 24 volt or a bigger boat with 36. And it also looks at the batteries that you have and automatically adjusts for either one. So it's all built in. That's really cool. So one trolling motor does both 36 and 24 volts. The other thing too that a brushless motor does is it makes it incredibly quiet. So the reason we call this the Ghost trolling motor is that you can sneak up on those fish and not get them spooking out of your way. Very, very, very quiet trolling motor. The other thing too is the amount of battery that you're going to use during the day. 60% less. Well, so that equates to more time in the water, more time from charging your batteries, and I've actually gone up to 2 days without even having to charge my batteries and still had plenty of power. So you know, if you're going out there and fishing a tournament or going out there and fishing an all-day fun fishing deal, you're going to have plenty of battery all throughout the day and not worry about killing your batteries at the end of the day. So incredibly efficient, really, really quiet, really powerful with the Ghost trolling motor. The other thing too, fly-by-wire steering. No more cable steering, no more cables to break. Fly-by-wire is electronic steering, and you'll see when we look at the pedal here in just a couple of minutes why that's so special. But fly-by-wire steering, all here incorporated, it will never break. And if you've ever been out in the water and had your trolling motor cables break, it's frustrating because that will absolutely end your day out in the water. One of the other things too about the Ghost trolling motor is that the sonar is built in. So the transducer is actually in the housing of this motor, so you get virtually no interference out of your sonar graphs. That's really, really important too, because if you've ever been in a situation where you've got externally mounted transducers on your old trolling motor and you're constantly getting pulse modulation or interference when you put your foot on the trolling motor pedal, that's not going to happen with the Ghost. Everything's built in, everything's integrated, no interference with your graphs at all. Another great feature of the Ghost. So let's go down here and we're going to take a look at the foot pedal and show you what they've done there in their ingenuity of the Ghost trolling motor. So we're going to take a look at that. So down here at the trolling motor pedal, one of the very first things when you turn your trolling motor on with this little blue button is it's got a 24 volt and 36 volt indicator. So if you're running 24 volt, that lights up. If you're running 36, that one lights up. And then you've also got a little test bar right here from low to high to test your batteries to see what the battery life is like. That's a pretty useful feature too. But from the minute you put your foot on this pedal and you go forward and backward or left and right, you're going to notice one thing. Because this is fly-by-wire steering and not cable, you'd think that there'd be a lot of play in this foot pedal, and there's really not, because programmably what Lowrance did is they built in a little bit of resistance in this pedal so it feels exactly like a cable steer motor, only it's not. Very, very cool feature. So you can drive this motor just like you would a regular steer motor, only it's fly-by-wire. Looking at the pedal design, there's also a couple of things. There's a button here on the left-hand side that is your on-off button. But Lowrance discovered that some people don't like this button on the left side. They'd rather have it on the right. So it's about a 5-minute switch. You can take this plate right off here and you can switch the on-off button from this side to that side making it however you like. That's a really, really awesome feature. I move mine from this side to that side because that's just the way I like it better. There's also some programmable buttons. There's 1, 2, and 3, which you can actually go in through your fish finder, and you can go to the auto autopilot menu, and you can choose how you want to set these buttons up, whether you want to save waypoints, drop power poles, do a multiple of different features. I like the waypoint feature because if I've hooked up a fish and I've gone and I've hit my anchor lock, I can go ahead and hit that number 1 and just save the waypoint right on my machine right there. I don't need to mess with anything else. So really, really useful feature, having these programmable buttons that you can set a variety of different menu features right from your fish finder display. And then the other thing too would be your anchor button, which is right here. So you're out offshore, you're fishing, you catch a fish, you can hit that anchor button, and then it will keep your motor exactly in that same position. So a lot of useful little things here with the foot pedal. There was an awful lot of thought that went into this foot pedal and the Ghost trolling motor, all of which is going to make a much better fishing experience for everyone who's got one. So I'm Mike DelVisco. Check all these out at Lowrance.com and also Bass Boat Electronics.